At the dawn of the 19th century, one composer taught the world that in silence there is greatness. Born in Bonn in 1770, Ludwig van Beethoven was a child driven by a father's ambition and a hunger he would spend a lifetime trying to understand. Under Christian Gottlob Neff, he studied Bach's well-tempered clavier, learning how harmony and order could turn emotion into music. At 17, in 1787, he traveled to Vienna and is reported to have encountered Mozart. After returning home to care for his dying mother, he left Bonn in 1792 for good, carrying only talent, grief, and destiny. Vienna became his proving ground. He studied under Haydn, Albrechtsberger, and Salieri, yet no teacher could tame his fire. By 1795, he performed his first concerto in Vienna, dazzling audiences with volcanic energy, striking the keys so fiercely that he broke piano strings mid-performance. Beneath the applause, by 1798, he began to notice the ringing that foretold deafness. The young virtuoso was already facing his greatest adversary, fate itself. In 1801, Beethoven poured his soul into a quiet storm of notes. He dedicated the piece to Countess Giulietta Guicciardi, a love that never could be. He called it quasi una fantasia, almost a fantasy, breaking the rules of classical form. Later poets called it moonlight, but the real light came from within, from a man beginning to lose the world of sound. In this stillness, Beethoven began to hear eternity. In 1802, in the village of Heiligenstadt, he wrote a private testament of despair over his growing deafness. "I would have ended my life, but my art held me back." From that darkness rose the Eroica Symphony, grand, defiant, revolutionary. Originally dedicated to Napoleon Bonaparte, whom he admired as a symbol of liberty, Beethoven ripped away the title page in rage when Napoleon declared himself emperor in 1804. His new hero was not a ruler, it was mankind itself. Only 8 notes, fate knocking at the door. His Symphony No. 5 in C minor was composed through years of upheaval and completed in 1808, transforming struggle into triumph. Deafness isolated him, but his music grew colossal, the voice of defiance itself. Each phrase was a declaration, "I will not surrender." Through silence, he found immortality. In 1809, as French troops bombarded Vienna, Beethoven sheltered in his brother's basement, pressing pillows to his ears to protect what hearing remained. From that chaos came majesty, the Emperor Concerto. Grand, fearless, radiant, a testament to resilience. Even amid war, he wrote as though victory were inevitable. A year later, in 1810, he penned a small bagatelle later known as Für Elise, a melody of wistful tenderness, dedicated to a young woman, possibly to Thérèse Malfatti. Those gentle notes, so simple beside his symphonies, reveal the heart behind the hero. The years that followed were filled with loss and silence. In 1812, Beethoven wrote his famous letter to his immortal beloved, a love he could never claim. The music scene in Vienna was changing, and his popularity began to fade. Illness worsened. By 1816, he was almost completely deaf. His brother's death brought grief, and a bitter 5-year custody battle for his nephew Karl consumed his strength. Yet from those dark years came quiet beauty, the Sonata in A major, written in 1816, a work of reflection and fragile hope, sung from a soul learning to endure. By 1821, largely secluded in Vienna and in failing health, he turned inward and found a new kind of beauty. He sought a gentler, spiritual voice, free of earthly concern. With the sonata in a flat major, melancholy meets grace, and grief rises slowly toward light. Its final fugue feels like a conversation between earth and heaven, between silence and the infinite. In 1822, nearly deaf and working through conversation books, he shaped a farewell to sound itself. The Arietta drifts through sorrow into peace. No anger, no struggle, only acceptance. Each variation feels like a step closer to eternity. It is the sound of forgiveness, and the moment the man became pure music. In 1824, completely deaf, he unveiled his 9th Symphony in Vienna. He stood facing the orchestra, unaware the hall had erupted in applause, until Caroline Unger, the mezzo-soprano soloist, gently turned him to see the cheering crowd. The 9th was not just music, it was a prayer for unity, a message for every generation. From silence, he gave the world its greatest song of joy. This has been Legends of Sound, Music Masters, the mini history of Ludwig van Beethoven. Coming soon, Frédéric Chopin, the poet of the piano.